Hello everyone, hello fans, hello everyone, it's your boy Lavish, Kante's cousin Oluwashemler, you know how it is. We're back with another episode of the final third, Game Week Corona. We have a very, very special guest, our very own friend, Nathaniel Oseni, or Oseni, however you want to pronounce it. Some Nigerians will argue with you. But yeah, Nat, tell us how you're doing just quickly. How's Corona treating you? How's Corona treating you?
It's been alright, to be fair. It's not as bad as I would have expected, obviously.
Staying indoors?
Yeah, I'm staying with my mum now, innit?
You've been staying indoors, Nats?
Yeah, I've been staying indoors, bro.
Anyway, let me know. We're not here for that. We're not here for that. So, for some of you that don't know, Nats, we're very blessed to know Nats. Grew up in the city ranks, and he's here and there and just been playing football all of his life. But Nats, firstly, I just want you to tell me, when did you first know you was like, he's a peak baller? When did you know like you was better than the rest?
I think this is when I was in. I think I was in primary school. I think it was in year 5, year 6. Because when I was where I was, no one really my age played football in my area. Everyone like kind of messed around and played at swings.
What area is this?
Peckham.
Oh, no one played football in Peckham, Nats?
Not to be fair, not that many people. It's mainly the older guys that played football when I was growing up. As in like the people that at the age that I am now, so like 22, 21s. Yeah. All the older, the grown men play football like every week. Then I just kind of ended up playing with them. And then from a young age, I kind of learned basically, one, the fact that you don't get fouls as a young boy. Yeah. Playing the road a lot. Yeah. 2, you get bullied a lot. Yeah. 3, they will try and hurt you.
I'm crying.
If you don't pass the ball.
So from there, cool. So this is at a young age. This is year 5, did you say? So just secondary school going up into, primary school going into secondary school. So then at what point did you get signed? Was City the first team you played for, or how did that work out?
So basically, I think one was, I didn't really take football seriously until I got to year 6, year 7.
Okay.
That I met, because basically like the deputy head of my school was good friends with Mr. Carnegie. Mr. Carnegie used to work with Wycombe Wanderers, where Dudley and Nathan kind of started their careers.
Okay.
And I kind of got to him. Yeah. And I just messed around with it, and he said, "Why don't I give it a go?" So then I played I think I played for like the year 10s.
At what year?
When I was in year 7.
What? So you was in year 7, you was playing for the year 10s?
Yeah. And then I realised that the game was very physical. And so then but I just kind of enjoyed it. Then I done that, and then I played for the year 11s.
In year 7?
Yeah, a few games.
And then from then, then you got scouted for City, or
From then I started to take football seriously, because I realised that I was actually good at it. I thought, you know what, let me just see how this goes. So then I remember one of the boys, so this is when I was in year 8, I remember one of the boys in year 7 played for Fulham already. So I said to him, like, how do you get that? He said, you get scouted. So then I was like, all right, cool, how does this happen? Then one of my teachers, kind of luckily, he still works at school now. His name is Mr. Lansico. Yeah. He works in Sacred Heart. I still talk to every now and again. Basically got me in touch with Mr. Carnegie, and I did like a thing called like an open trial, which is like where you go and play like a few games, and like scouts from like all over London come and watch.
Yeah.
I was lucky to get a few offers from there.
What did you get from
then
there?
I got Wycombe. Mm-hmm. I got Arsenal, and I got Fulham. I just chose Fulham because it was closest to my house. Well, to be honest, my mum chose for me, to be honest.
So from there, you picked Fulham, and then you started joined the Fulham Academy.
Yeah. I joined the Fulham Academy, and I was there from about like 11 to about 13, 14.
Okay.
Yeah. Then But then I realised that the life I lived in secondary school was different to everyone else. As in, so I had a thing called day release, which not many people know what it is. Day release is basically when you miss school for a day.
Okay.
You just do training. So my schedule is ridiculous because the Fulham training ground is in Moscow Park, which is like an hour and a half from where I live.
Yeah.
Training started at like 6:30, so I had to leave my house at. And you get in trouble for being late, especially at a young age. So I'd find myself like coming home, doing training, getting home at like 9 o'clock.
Wait, it cut out. Just quickly. You said training started at 6, and then you had to leave early. What is this? 6 a.m.
No, 6 p.m.
Oh, 6 p.m. and then you had to leave for school early or something, and you get in trouble for being late.
For being late, anyway.
Savage.
But the maddest thing is I'd have to come home at 10 p.m. at night and then do homework.
Savage. This from year 7. This from year 7 to like age 13, so year 9.
Year 7 to like year 9. And then from year 9, I think I got bought at Man City. Yeah, I'm not sure how much exactly. Yeah, but then I was supposed to move.
Can't buy kids, but hey. So you can't.
There's ways
around it. Yeah, we're not gonna get into that. But
there's ways. Pay someone in it.
Yeah. So you're still in London. Then from Fulham, and then Man City managed to buy you in year 9. So you just changed school. You start schooling in Manchester now.
I was supposed to move in year 9, but then my mum made me wait. So then I moved in year 10 instead of year 9. So I moved at the start of year 10 because my mum said I'm not getting anywhere until the school's finished.
Okay. Okay. So then you transferred to Manchester school.
Yeah. I moved to Manchester school. The first house I stayed in I stayed with a family that had a farm.
So they put you in they put you with a family up there. You're not with like dorms or nothing.
No. Because they didn't have the dorms yet. They did a thing where basically they put anyone below the age of like 18 that stay with a family.
Okay.
And it's a random family.
It linked with Man City, just a random
family.
So
the club obviously pay them, so they work with the club. They work for the club. The club pay the family to look after you, innit? Yeah.
And then what was that like be at that age? Because you're you don't know anyone in Manchester, ideally, or did your friends?
I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anyone. I'd never been there before.
Okay. Yeah, and then you have to. Wow, this is go on then. And then you're the only one from London, ideally, in the team, or what?
At that time, yes.
Okay.
Then I think more and more people started to come, so different areas started to learn. So I think that was when London players are slowly, the younger generation are slowly moving up north because there weren't many of us. But I hated it for like the first year, I didn't want to be there.
Want to go back to Fulham? Home.
Yeah, not even that. Just to be in London. I found myself going home every weekend, just so that I could be in London.
So you were going across country. Boring. You were going across country in year 10 on your own.
No, bro. I tell you, it was even. I now looking back at it now, you realize how privileged I was. As in, so because I was too young and my mum basically made it clear that I was not traveling on my own. They'd get a member of staff to come down with me on a train,
chaperone you all the way back to London.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, so then how was it like being I'm sure you weren't around as many black people as you were in London when you moved to Manchester. So how did you take that transition? Like, what was that like? Were you treated any differently?
Not in football-wise, because obviously in a football-wise, the first day, everyone's like, who is this? But then the minute you start to train, because you got to remember, at the end of the day, you are competing against these guys, but these guys are your teammates. You spend nearly every single day with them, innit? So the footballing side kind of broke through because people kind of probably liked me mainly because I was from London. I was different, and they kind of liked that. So they were like, let me learn about how London boys are. The boys, the coaches didn't like it because I was different to them, and the way that they spoke and the way I spoke was different. School was difficult for me as well.
Yeah, how was secondary school there?
I only went to school 3 days a week.
Okay.
So I went to school. So my schedule for the week was Monday, half day. I left school at 12 to then go do training. Then I do homeschooling from like 5 till 7 in my digs. They call it digs, which is basically where you stay with a family.
Yeah.
That's on your own. Tuesday and Wednesday, I did training, so I didn't go to school at all.
Yeah.
Thursday and Friday was full days at school. Then Saturday I had a game. Sunday I was off. But the reason why school was difficult because I didn't know anyone, and I've never been in a position where I've had to make friends from scratch. Like I didn't remember how to do it.
Yeah.
And because of the label that I got from when I joined, a lot of people just didn't like me.
What was the label you got when you joined?
People up north don't like Londoners anyway. Because they labelled us as having a bad attitude and stuck up, which I can understand. A lot of the people said, obviously, I'm a rich boy because I'm from Man City.
In secondary school, people within Manchester were calling you a rich boy.
Yeah.
So Man City is the richer side of Manchester.
At the time, so when I first started, they were still going through the change up, as in terms of Man City was still below United at the time, but they were going through the transition where Man City were slowly getting a bit better than them. But it was basically, so this is when I basically joined maybe like a year or two after they just got a lot of money.
Okay, right. Okay.
So
what year did you join? 2012 or 2013?
2012, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is after Aguero?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Right,
and it was a lot to kind of get hold of. The only thing that kind of helped me was because there was a boy that played for Man United that basically followed the same schedule. So he's also a black boy, but he basically realistically kind of made me popular within the school because he was popular. He played for United.
So he was a black boy from Manchester as well, who gravitated.
Yeah.
And you guys had the same kind of schedule and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he also had the task of showing me around.
Okay, no problem.
It was weird because imagine going to a school, I started literally like in like February to finish to finish the school year. I didn't do any tests, so basically no one knew if I was smart or not. I basically just copied his schedule.
Yeah.
So he was smart, like ridiculously smart, like way smarter than me. Like I was probably like a A, but like slash like a high B level. He was an A-star student.
Yeah.
So I basically just copied all of his lessons. I was in set one for everything, and I didn't do any tests.
So yeah, so a lot of people, you can understand. Some people would have been very jealous because it kind of seems like you're getting a free ride. Kind of, yeah.
To be honest, if I was looking at it from the outside, I was, because I had luxury to things that most people probably dream about. As in, so my school was like, so then I didn't tell you. So the family I said there was a white family. Don't get me wrong, they're a lovely family, but they weren't for me because I grew up as a black family. The food's different, the way that we behave is different. So I asked them to change household.
To a black family.
Yeah.
So you requested that, and obviously they would Man City will let the family know, like, yeah, he wants to go somewhere else. Which ideally is controversial because you shouldn't ideally let the family know that the child's not happy in the home. So is that what happened?
Realistically, yeah. And they, to be honest, they took it very well.
Okay.
I respect them for the way that they took it because they understood that I wasn't their kind of person.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a black family, but I got a mixed race family. I got a black guy and a white wife, and they're mixed race children. But they had he was Jamaican, but they ate the food that I liked. They behaved the way they did. Like the lingo was different.
You could relate to them a little bit more.
Yeah. I felt a bit more comfortable in their presence.
When you were speaking to Man City about giving you another family, did you tell them like a black one?
Yes.
Okay.
I asked them before I moved. It's like, so it was a thing where I kind of realistically hated the food. So my school teacher, I had two black school teachers, which were my English teacher and my maths teacher. Like, they were making food to take home because I wasn't eating.
Okay. You weren't eating in Manchester?
No. I wasn't eating in the house because I didn't like the food.
Yeah.
I didn't like the food. And there's nothing that they could do for it. So imagine your school teacher making you food for like a good 6 weeks.
So then obviously, reports something would come up. Yeah. Okay. So let's go into the football aspect of it. So firstly, do you say football is different? It's differently coached up north than down south? And playing styles are different up north and down south. Is that true, or what do you think?
I wouldn't say football is coached differently. I would say, depending on the level of your club in terms of how much money the club have, that depends on how well the coach is. Because you have access to more facilities and access to better coaching staff. So don't get me wrong, there are probably... I feel like the English way of coaching is bad anyway.
Why do you say that?
Because every good coach in the Premier League is foreign, no?
Okay, but from your academy experience, would you say players that came that were foreign, players that joined the academy that were foreign, what was different about them than to you guys that was from England?
English mentality is to run. We get taught from a young age that fitness prevails everything. So, especially when you go to lower down clubs, they base it on the fitter you are, the more chance you have of being a footballer. Okay. Whereas foreign coaches look at it as it's you of the football. Because at the end of the day, we are playing football. Don't get me wrong, you do get some English coaches that are different, but they're very rare of them.
Okay.
They're very, very rare of them.
Okay, so when you were in the Man City academy, your coaches were English. Is that so?
Who did I have? I'm not gonna name names, but I had 2 English coaches. So what I had? So I had 13, 14, 15. This is weird because I didn't play for my age group.
Oh, so you played for the 23s, or you played for the year?
No. So not even that. When I was 15, I didn't play with my age group anyway. I played with my age group for like 6 weeks, and then I moved up again.
Okay. But what I was trying to get at is, did you experience any form of racism within the academy? Hostility.
Not till I got to not till I was a scholar. So that was like 17, 18 when you finish secondary school. So you spend 2 years as a scholar, and then you can sign a pro as soon as you turn. I think 17.
Okay.
No, 17.
Okay.
So you can play first team. So what they can do is they can't legally sign your contract until you're 17. But they can make you sign a pre-contract, which basically says as soon as you turn 17, you're basically a pro anyway. They can make you that one. But you can still play first team at whatever age. Makes no difference.
Okay. And then so after you became a scholar, that's when you experienced racism, you said, or hostility.
It was. So
how was that?
It was a different world because it was in a way it was men's football, and it made me realise that's when I started to realise stuff like egos and how things are ran differently in terms of what the coach says goes in it. Because when you're young, it's all about basically just having fun and playing the game. But then you realise as soon as you get older, the fun can get taken out of it because it's so serious.
Yeah. Okay.
And he basically just for like the first year of my scholarship, I didn't like it.
Why? Aside from the secondary school and living the right family, football on the pitch now, why did you like it?
So I didn't like it because the guy, he made my life hell. And I at that age, I couldn't understand why. It just felt like he was picking on me.
For example, like what would happen?
So what was it? So when we came in for the first day, so I went on holiday. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm like one of the fittest ones. I was one of the fittest ones in the group, and I came back and I wasn't one of the fittest because that was my first like lads holiday in it when I was 17.
17, yeah.
So yeah, so I'm not gonna lie to you, I went a bit overboard. I went a bit too far. So then I wasn't as bad as I say Higuain, but I was
getting porkier. So, yeah.
I wasn't bad. I wasn't fit, and he knew this. So he made me do extra running, as in regardless. So basically, every time you lost a game, whatever game it was in training, you do a run. Sometimes I'd have to do run even if I won, just to prove the point. And he was just hard on me, as in it felt like I had to do more to kind of prove myself to him. And I didn't understand why, because there were people that were probably not as good as me or getting away with doing less. Or because there was a thing saying that then he kind of labelled me as someone who didn't run in training.
Okay. I'm listening. It's just I want you to explain more in terms of like what made you think it wasn't personal and it was race, as I hate this saying, but what makes you think it was personal and it wasn't?
The reason why I made it seem it was to do race because there was, so when I turned 16, so the year before scholar, there was another boy that came from London as well. He moved from Arsenal to move to Man City. So me and him ended up staying in the same house. Me and him had a talk about this when we were 17. Many talks about this. So there was three of us staying in the same house from London that came over. We all trained with the same coach. We all had the same opinion. Basically, it was basically a thing where he kind of labelled us to the attitude because obviously being from a different area, so let's say a Londoner, let's say a Northerner if you have a situation, they would react differently.
Yeah. But
because he's from Manchester, he would understand how
the Northern reaction rather than the
behave. Yeah. So then, as a London boy, sometimes we're known to sometimes have a bit more attitude or a bit more fight in us in terms of like clapping back, those kind of things. And he reacted badly to all of those. But sometimes he didn't understand that, well, we're young, and sometimes that's the way that we're raised in terms of if you don't have an attitude and something about you, then you won't make it out of where we're from.
Okay. So for example, so the running drills, he didn't.
Yeah.
Did he do it to just you, or he did it to all three of you?
All three of us.
Okay, so all three of you.
I remember. So every Monday morning was the hardest session of the hardest session of the week.
Yeah.
He would purposely give us a shit team. Purposely give us a bad team.
A weaker team, yeah.
Yeah, then the other team, just to make us try and run more. Then when we lose, he'd be like, I knew we were going to lose. I'm not, as in, there were days where we literally we tried so hard and we still couldn't win. And we were thinking like, so if he's not going to try and help us, even the days when we did try, like, what's the point? Because it's not going to change. So we gave up. Stopped trying. We just thought we went into the session thinking we're going to lose. We're going to lose anyway. So we ended up hating Monday sessions. We hated it.
Yeah. Okay. So go on. Sorry.
The worst thing was when the first time I broke my leg.
Yeah.
So I broke my leg in December of my first year scholar. So I was 17, broke in December, and I didn't come back until it was May. Yeah. So imagine this is my coach. I had other coaches calling to me, seeing how I am. It felt from where I was coming from that he forgot about me. He didn't even speak to me for about 3 months.
Yeah. Whilst your leg was broken.
Yeah. But
and you're in rehab.
So I still had to go in, but I spent my days in the physios. With the physios. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that was a dark place for me because breaking your leg at that age, you're thinking, as my career finished, I'm gonna do now. Yeah, I'm not gonna do now. And then you think, okay, when I come back, I'm not gonna be the same. And in football, sometimes it feels like when you get injured, or in any sport, when you get injured, everyone forgets about you.
Yeah.
And I felt like he did that. As in, they would have meetings, and I wouldn't know.
What do you mean meetings? What, team meetings?
So team meetings, regardless of whether like tactics or to do standards or anything, and I wouldn't know. But then when it came to do the punishments for being late or not being involved, I'd be punished. And his answer would be like, I told the players. It showed up to find out, and I'd just be like, what? Like, are you being serious? And then it became a thing because I remember one day I kind of reacted badly to it.
Yeah, you had enough.
Yeah, I had enough and I reacted badly. So I started arguing with him. And it just basically just put me even further back. As in, he wouldn't even include me in anything.
So what do you remember arguing about?
I think he made a joke.
Yeah.
But the northern jokes are very different to the jokes
to the
that happen
yeah.
from London. Their banter is a bit more out there. As in, if you said those things to a young boy, probably, even now, you'd probably think like, huh? Like, are you being serious or are you not being serious?
Yeah.
And
you reacted.
And I reacted to it, and then it kind of been like, and he was like, oh, I'm only joking. He's like, I'm only joking, but I was like, that's not funny.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually not funny. And as a coach, I thought,
yeah, it froze, isn't it? You said as a coach. God, can you hear me?
Yes, I said as a coach, it felt like he didn't really get to know me because he kept making those jokes. And I didn't like it. The worst thing was, because I remember I had the argument I had to him. I think he didn't play me for like I think it was like 3 weeks. As in, I wasn't even in the squad.
And this is when you were fit. You'd come back from rehab. You come back from your broken leg, or just before your broken leg?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
But he couldn't even give me an answer. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let me move.
When I asked him.
Yeah, go on.
So I asked him the reason why, and he couldn't even give me an answer.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I realised that there wasn't anything that I could do. Because I realised that he had all the power. It was going to be his way or the highway. And there was nothing I could do about it.
I was gonna, so this is all at age 17. So you're experiencing all of this, not just you, but a couple of your teammates that are black teammates from London. You've gone through breaking your leg as well, and then feeling excluded, which will take her, like, psychologically is quite traumatic. So at what point did someone speak out for you in terms of like a coach or any other adult around the time to like highlight what's going on? Or did anyone ever highlight what was going on?
So football organizations are not run like that.
Okay.
At least in terms of the one, well, when I was young. It may be different now, but I don't feel like it was run like that because it was basically everyone did their job.
Yeah.
And you don't do anything else other than your job. That's it.
Yeah.
As in, he's the coach. So if I had a problem with something, it'd be like speak to the coach.
There's no HR.
No. We'll to the coach. That was it.
Okay.
I think things didn't really change predominantly for black players until I started to go with the reserves.
Okay, so what happens when you got to the reserves?
The reserves is a different ball game. They're family. As in, they make everyone feel welcome. So this was when I broke my leg, when I told you about. So remember, I said to you basically, so when I came back from injury, the preseason, I had. This is when Vieira just came into the thing, and because he watched. So obviously we have highlights for our seasons and games, and it's your job as the coach above to watch the team below you's basically games to see the best players are, so you see and to see his progression, so that you take in the best players and see how really good they are and play them against better players, older ages. So when I came back, I wasn't really playing before my age group. So I was like, all right, cool. Then I had a conversation with Vieira in the preseason game. And they had a player short. So he then called me to come over and train with them. I trained with them, maybe like twice. And he was like, okay, I like what I see, like you can stay here permanently. So I was thinking, so he said to me, so for next week, he said, what you're going to do is I'm going to have lunch with the 18s and come train with him every single day. Yeah. The following Monday came, because what happened was if you train with the reserves, there'd be a list that goes out the night before to tell you where you're going to train, if you're not going to train. I was like, all right, cool. So I go to have lunch with the, to have breakfast, with my age group. And there'd be like a minibus to take us from the 18 side to the 23 side. Yeah. So then, because my manager then basically would tell everyone in the morning, the 18s manager would. And he didn't say my name, but I was like, I'm on the list. He said, you're not going. I said, I'm not going. He said, he said, because I said so. He said, you don't deserve it. Okay. I said, I was a bit confused. Yeah. Like, it didn't really make sense. So I was like, well, I can't do anything in it because he's here and Vieira's all the way over there. I can't just walk over there. Yeah. Because like I could look stupid if I get there. I'm actually not meant to train with them. Yeah. So then we were meant to get there 50 minutes before training. Yeah. So then I go out to training. So the minibus leaves. I then go out to training with the rest of the scholars. Vieira walks over to our session and says, let's go. Mid-session. We're doing a warm-up. He said, let's go. He said, he's got boots on and everything. He said, let's go. He said, we're going now. He comes over. Okay. Yeah. He says, let's go. And then and then your coach says what? My coach is like, so he said, let's go. So then he goes to my coach and says, I'm taking Nathaniel and the other black boy. They're my roommate. Okay. He took both of us, and my coach said, they're not going. He's like, why? He said, why are they not going? He was like, because they don't deserve it. He said, you can take him, or him, someone else. He didn't point at any of the black players, by the way. Playing all white players. He said you could take any of them, just not those two. Vieira said, I don't care, I want those two. Yeah. So then they're having an argument, blah, blah, blah. And he walks off and he said to me and the boy, come. We just started walking. I swear to you, it felt like I was going to stand still. I started walking. Yeah. My coach was fuming because realistically, in like the terms of hierarchy, the coach below you can't say nothing to you. Yeah. Can't say anything to you. That's kind of how football works. Can't say anything to you. Because if it actually came down to decision making, you can't really argue with you. So we went over, we trained. We went back to have lunch with the scholars after training, and our coach pulls us into a room and says, "You got lucky today." Says something like, "You guys aren't going to train with them again." We were like, then my friend asked why. He said, "Because you two haven't shown me anything that you deserve to go over there." He said, "We have sessions every Monday, and you guys lose every Monday. Every single
the
Monday."
story you told us earlier. Yeah.
He said we lose.
So the next session comes. What does Vieira do, or what do you do?
So so all the coaches have lunch in the same area.
Yeah.
We then told Vieira that this is what our coach said. Vieira then calls him into the office. Obviously, it's weird. So all the offices are all see-through. All glass. All glass, see-through. So you can see everything.
Obviously, new builds and everything.
Yeah. So I think our head of academy did it so that you can see if anyone's slacking.
Oh, so you can see outside.
Yeah. So sometimes he does it just so that if you walk through randomly, you can see who's doing work and who's not doing work.
Yeah.
So he done that. So they're in like a meeting room, which is basically like a room with just a table and chair. Vieira is just going at him, shouting at him, shouting at him, and he's shouting back. Blah, blah, blah. Then he stops and he calls us into the room, and he said, "I want these two players because they're very good." He said, "I want them training me, going to train me." He said, "I don't care." He said, I don't care what you want. I literally, I don't care what you want.
That's what Vieira said to the coach.
Yeah, he said, "I don't care what they want," because I think he was picking his team for like the Youth Champions League.
Okay.
And the Youth Champions League goes by date of birth. So for example, if your date of birth if the year was 97, anyone 97 and born after 97 can play in that. Okay. Basically, yeah.
So you qualified for it more or less at that time.
Yeah. And then manager was like, okay. But then as he walked out, he looked at me and Denzel, and he absolutely looked at us like he wanted to kill us. but he made things awkward between like the three of us in it. So me and Denzel would go training, go into like the office and kind of things, and he just wouldn't talk to us. He didn't say a word.
Yeah. So what was your conversations like from then on with Vieira? Did he explain what was going on in terms of like with you guys and that manager, why he was being so hostile to you guys?
So, I had a chat with him personally, and I tried to basically understand like, why is he like this?
You had a chat with the coach?
No, I had a chat with Vieira, and I asked him because I didn't understand, and I wanted to understand because there was a lot going on, and I was in the middle of it, and I was like, I want to have some sort of idea just so that I know how to behave.
17 at this point, yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, all right, no. He basically explained to me that some people just don't like you based on it, maybe the color of your skin or the fact that you're different. They just don't like you. And they said that they themselves can't explain it to you. He said he probably didn't even know why himself. He just had this energy towards you, doesn't like you. Yeah. But he said that's going to happen because of the color of your skin and the fact that you're different. Yeah. He said there are going to be people that are out there that just want to cause you trouble for no reason. Yeah. And you don't know why, and sometimes they might not even know why. But he said it's always going to happen because of the color of your skin, because of where you're from. So that means that you have to always make sure you're always polite.
Well, that's what Vieira said to you. So make sure you always
polite. He said even people that are evil to you, be nice to them. Okay. Because the minute you bite back or say something rude, they grow in confidence. Yeah. They're looking for a reaction just so that they can punish you.
Okay. So did you just Oh, just to divert from just because I don't want it to people to watch this and feel like, yeah, but this is just an isolated incident just with this coach. Did you ever have any experience with this with any other coach, or he was just the main? The main.
Nah.
Okay.
But it wasn't. So it wasn't. The thing is, it wasn't even just him. It was the coaches that were friends with him. So all the coaches that were
as a group.
The group of him.
Okay.
And I felt like they kind of targeted black players and younger players, especially the ones that were from London. So there was even times when I was like with the 23s.
Mm-hmm.
This is like when I was like 18, 19, and the year below me, I speak to, because obviously all the black boys, we kind of stuck together regardless of the age,
regardless of the area.
You were. Yeah, that didn't matter. Just your black boy, because we realized that we were different from everyone else.
Yeah.
And I also learned this from Sterling as well.
Yeah. So even from Sterling,
to understand that you're a black boy, that people are looking for excuses to punish you.
Yeah.
So we can't get away with misbehaving and doing these kind of things. We have to be on point all the time.
So from Sterling downwards, like, you understood this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's hard because it feels like you're on show more than you should be.
Yeah.
And it feels like sometimes you can't be yourself. You're always putting on a front. And I realized this because there was a year, the age group below me when I was a second scholar, so when I was 18, the first years, there was, what do you call it? There was a white boy and a black boy. Yeah, there was them two. They played the same position. The white boy, Manchester grown, loving boy, had amazing talent.
Yeah.
Didn't run, never ever ran. Didn't even bother running. Didn't defend. Didn't do anything. Yeah. But in terms of going forward, he had everything. There was a black boy from Manchester who would run his life for you, run for everything. Worked as hard as possible. Did everything the coach wanted to. But it wasn't enough. The white boy always won. The white boy always played. He got so much more praise. It just felt like you were fighting the fact that you were never going to win.
Well, I'm stunned because a lot of people will not understand. So a lot of people will not understand this goes on because you won't know. This is all behind closed doors. What I can ask, I want to ask, do you believe coaches stifled your development? So if you had a coach who was in your favour, do you feel like you could still be at City or you could still play in Premier League football? Or is that more on your account?
I believe so. I'm never going to use it as an excuse to say the coaches messed me up, because I've had coaches that were different. Yeah. I felt like the main thing with me was, and the reason why I left, because after I broke my leg, I wasn't in a good place mentally.
Oh, mentally?
Yeah, as in, so I broke it and I came back that pre-season. Then I done it again that same year in January. And the second time I did it,
you broke your leg twice.
Harder. Yeah. The second time I did it, so I've now got plates in my ankle now.
Okay.
So the second time I did it was basically made me feel like, am I going to walk again? And even if I walk again, because they were both tackles, and they were both stupid tackles, not from me but from another person, as in the person tried to hurt me.
Oh, okay. It was deliberate.
Yeah. Tried to hurt me. So it made me feel like, even if that's the case, I don't want to go near anyone again. So I then became scared of
as a centre back, and as a centre back as well, you can't.
And you can't have that mentality.
Yeah.
You have to be all in or nothing. And it took, even though at Pep, when it was healed, I personally didn't have the faith in it, in my legs, that it wouldn't happen again.
Yeah.
And it just became a personal battle.
Fair enough. So you wouldn't put it on that because you put it on yourself, which is admirable because a lot of people could have just used that as the excuse to why, which is fair. Which is fair enough. So towards the end of your time at City, this is through the changes. So you're there through more so the Pellegrini era. More so, is that right?
Yeah, and then the starting of
and then the start of the Guardiola era. So you played. Did you train a couple times with the first team?
Yeah,
or what was your experience with the first team?
It was completely different in terms of what I did anything because I trained with the first team from when I was 18.
At this point, Vieira's left the under-23s.
Yeah. So Vieira went abroad.
Okay, and then
I think he went
Bordeaux. Yeah, he went to Bordeaux, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he went to Bordeaux. Then he went to, I think, is it Red Bulls? I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he went. No, that was on. No, he went to Red Bulls. He went abroad. He went to America.
He went to Red Bulls.
But yeah, and then so Pep's coming now. What's the change? Just quickly, what is it like? How's everything changed? And I was gonna ask you, just quickly, talk about when you talk about the change. Can you talk about the difference and the demand in having a ball playing centre back in comparison when you were before as a centre back? What the
everything was based on don't give the ball away. Don't give the ball away. He said he basically made it's just repetition of small little patterns that made a big difference
in the game. Yeah.
But it was so precise.
Yeah.
Even down to like the weight of pass, the side of the foot the pass is played, the first touch in terms of where that goes, and the next person's movement. It was so. It's basically like he slowed the game down for you to make you understand everything. But everything had to be done at match tempo. Everything had to be quick.
The training was intense. Yeah,
it was intense. And if you didn't do it quick, he'd leave you and do someone else do it.
Oh, he doesn't have time to coach.
No. He does coaches, but he coaches in a way whereas he moves on very fast. So you have to pay attention to everything he's saying because he doesn't really repeat himself. Because his thing was, if I have to repeat myself, you're not listening.
Why are you not listening?
Yeah.
Okay, so
it was amazing. It was literally amazing.
So I just feel because you more or less worked under one of the greatest or the greatest manager in modern football. So that was like, so you learned so much or you were so scared or like, did it bring out the best of you or you just taught you like, what did you take from it?
From looking at it from a player's perspective, he either makes you 10 times better or you crumble with the expectation. That's it. That's it. Because he was so demanding. It felt like he was playing with you.
So he wasn't involved in sessions physically, but he would actually on the side.
No. But there was so much pressure, so much demand. But it was to like most players, it was like, yeah, like, hey, like I'm ready for this. Like, let's go. Other players, it was like, shit, like this is like,
don't pass the ball to me. Don't pass.
Yeah, like, can you relax? Like, this is just football.
It's not something that you think. It's not something that what we were used to as a country, or you were used to as a player, or most players were used to.
Nothing like it, because everything was with the football.
So positioning and that wasn't as there wasn't as much emphasis on that. It was more so what you.
Everything we did was based around the football. So if we did running, it would be specific in terms of where the ball's going to be, the way you moved on the pitch in terms of the way you ran, the movements, the way your body moves based on where the football is.
Okay, I'm getting you. So you're doing. This is very like to hear of, but okay. So,
bro, there was so much information taken in. It had my brain on blitz. My brain on blitz.
In terms, and that's you as a like reserves in training with the first team. So could you see, before it happened, could you see the likes of people like Joe Hart not making the cut because of what they couldn't do with their feet? So it was very evident, as in like as soon as you came.
So everything he did, he said everything started from the back. Everything
So
from
the
the back.
ball would go to.
I remember we did a drill where we had, I think, what was it? There was six players. So there was the back four, two midfielders. They had 12. They had 10. Yeah, they had 10 people trying to help stop us. He said, "Get out," as in get
So
them past.
it was more so 10 versus 6.
So now we did a drill that
Yeah.
changed the way that I thought about playing football. Ridiculous. So basically, so we had a goalkeeper, then we had a back four, and we had 2 midfielders, and we had to and we started from a goal kick every single time. Our goal was to get the ball past the halfway line. He said the ball, no long passes,
nothing in the air.
Yeah, and then to stop us, they had 8. Yeah, they had 8 outfield players. So they had more players than us.
Yeah.
And he said, "Get out." He said, "Get out."
Yeah.
So that basically made you focus on your first touch had to be good because you may have 1, maybe 2 guys trying to press you.
Yeah.
You have to think about where you're going to move, and he would teach you where you're going to move, why you're going to go there, what the next guy's going to do after that. So he would basically, so for example, if you're a midfielder, he'd say to you, "You're going to move here because he's going to do this and he's going to do that, and while he's doing that, you're then going to do this." And to some players, you're like, "Wait, huh?" Like,
and some players get it.
So when he goes that way, I have to go this way.
Yeah.
And he would get mad at repeating himself. But it wasn't mad in terms of like why you not getting it. It was mad in terms of, come on, like it was just raw passion.
And
you
at
could
this
see
point,
that
you're 18.
Yeah, you can see that. You know when someone just loves the game differently in a way that you can't explain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just it can either bring it out in you or it can just ruin you yourself. To ruin yourself. Because you're thinking like, bro, like, can you like relax? But then some people don't understand.
So, because a lot of men didn't make, I'm looking back and now a lot of men did not make the cut. Obviously, some to do with age and a lot of it to do with actually when you look at if they could play with a ball. So, all 4 fullbacks got cut. So that's Kolarov, Clichy, Sanya, I think Zabaleta eventually. Joe Hart went.
So the fullbacks got cut because of Zabaleta was age. And he couldn't function because what you didn't realise is that Pep's team run so much on the ball. Yeah. And they run even more off the ball.
Yeah.
So think about think like this, yeah? The fitter you are, the better your brain works.
Yeah.
So if you can't keep up physically, your brain's slow.
Yeah.
And you lose the ball more. And he would get furious at someone losing the ball. Yeah. Especially if it was like a stupid reason.
Yeah.
He'd get mad. So Joe Hart would get cut because I felt like Joe Hart went mainly because he didn't take any risks. And you see Pep do it on the silent where he did the same thing as what Klopp would do with the cojones thing, as in have balls, get on the ball, play, have some courage.
Yeah.
Joe Hart wouldn't do that. Joe Hart would be like, and he'd look at it and be like, "Nah, bro, I'm kicking it."
Every time in training.
He wouldn't even. So he'd obviously in training he's forced to do it. Yeah. But it'd be a time where, some goals, for example, Edison or Alisson would make an extra pass or they'd try something. He wouldn't even, he'd just be like, "Fuck it, it's going.
Yeah.
And then his argument was, "I'm a goalkeeper. Like, I'm going to shots, isn't it?" And Pep was like, Pep thing was like, he wanted everyone to be comfortable with the ball, everyone. Yeah. So you're seeing goalkeepers take part in possessions to basically make everyone feel comfortable.
So were you looking forward to training sessions towards that Pep era?
Oh, I loved it. I went there hopefully being like a sponge.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
And just basically absorbing, because he paid so much attention to detail in terms of how to move, when to move, body shape, the first touch. He'd go down to detail as in terms of, for example, you can be out of position by 2 steps and he'd basically make you know it.
Yeah.
And he'd basically say, those 2 steps will make a difference between somebody having to play long or you getting on the ball and make an extra pass.
Okay. Well, now we'll get to the point where you leave City. So at the point where you leave City, how did you find out, and how did you know your next route, and how was that on your psyche?
So when I was 20, I was 20 years old. This was basically, so I had been fit from breaking my leg for about, I think maybe like 8 months. So I did that playing.
It's 2017 or 2016.
This is probably, I think 16. I think 16 games.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, no problem, cool, sweet. They offered me, so my contract was coming to an end, but I think I was injured for so long that it kind of felt like everyone forgot I could play football. Because I spent so much time with the physios, I was barely outside. So I was like, all right, cool. I came back and I spoke to my agent at the time and he was like, what's going on with my contract? I said, what? Like, am I saying what's going on? He said they offered me a contract. So he tried to similar run the Jaden thing with me. He said, we're not signing it. I said, wait, what? Because they offered me a contract. They offered me like a 2 extension. He was like, you're not signing it. I said, why not? He said, because I want better than that. So the one thing that I probably regret was not putting my foot down and saying, I'm signing it. Because sometimes when you're a young player, you give your agent too much power.
But you forget that he works for you.
Yeah, you forget that he works for you.
Yeah.
So especially young players get into the thing where the agent's gonna have you. They do everything. You just play football, innit?
Yeah.
Because that's what they tell you.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of footballers are probably uneducated in terms of their contract, in terms of everything to do outside of football. Because they have someone who's doing it for them and they have no idea what's going on. All they're doing is seeing results. But they don't understand what's happening for the results to take place.
Yeah.
So I didn't take it.
And then where do you go from there?
I sat at home. So I sat at home for like, I think it was like 4 or 5 months. He was telling me that he's sorting out a contract with them to get a better one. So I'm thinking like, all right,
you'll be back soon.
Problem. Yeah, I'm gonna go back soon, innit? Because this was like over summer, majority of it. So it was like towards the end of the year, like over summer. So it was around like May, June, July. So I was at home till then. Then it got to like August, and I called him. I was like, "What's going on?" He said, "Don't worry, I got this." I've been at home for 5 months, just doing nothing.
So you're losing fitness.
I'm losing everything. And match sharpness, everything. My mum's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. All I knew was he said he's going to do it. So I was like, cool, left it. Then you got to that September, and I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'm not staying at home no more. So then I went to go play for a non-league club for fun, just to keep fit in it. Then slowly but surely, I stopped hearing from him.
You stopped hearing from the agent?
Yeah.
And that was just how he just disappeared?
That's how he disappeared.
Okay. So then you've gone through a couple non-league clubs, and then your psyche, right? How was your head? Where was your head at in terms of like, I was at Man City, now I'm playing at non-league clubs. Like, what is this? Did you ever feel like that, or you just thought, or you're just grateful?
Yeah. That's how it went. Probably like the first probably like the first club. How it went, I was like, you are shit. I legit thought that, and that probably altered how the way I play, because I didn't really appreciate the fact that, one, I was just playing football.
You was playing football, yeah.
So it took away the fun aspect of where like I'm just a kid playing football, because that's how it was when I was at City. But then it was like, hold on, I've experienced the probably a great high, and I'm like, what, like why the fuck am I here? Like, you guys are shit. So then it took me a while to come into grips of, well, like I'm actually here now. Like this is where I'm at now, and there's nothing I can do about it. I have to pull my socks up and be like, you know what, it's time to just see what I can do. But then I realized that it's hard, because when you're at a pro setup, everything is there for you. You don't have to worry about anything. Everything is done for you. So sessions are put on for you. You get, if you want to do extra sessions, extra football sessions, they're there for you. If you want to do extra gym sessions, someone will make you a program and check up on you. When you're in non-league, no one gives a damn. All they care about is the points in the games. They don't care about anything else. So the bits, like the parts like in between the games, is you on your own.
Okay.
You got to motivate yourself. You got to do the extra work.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do it, no one cares.
Okay. This is and then now we've gone, well, from there you've gone on to Farnborough, Harrow, Salisbury, and then now you're just in a better place psychologically. Is that fine? Is that fair to say? So
the thing I learned from being in those setups, because they, don't get me wrong, I learned a lot from their clubs. I'll never say a bad thing about any of those clubs. So I learned, they made me feel welcome. It was just a sense of, so they all basically told me that you can still do this.
Yeah.
You can get back to where you was.
Yeah.
And they kind of made me realize, like, okay, like I can still do this.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, no problem. Because like, I'm meant to be getting to the Conference Prem from like the start of the season.
Yeah.
I was
what's going on, hopefully.
Yeah. Like, I was like, yeah, so I can still do this. But it made me realize that you never take what's for granted, and these things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And it made me realize in terms of, okay, I've been through this. I don't want to be here again. So I know what I have to do. I know what I have to do. And it teaches me a sense of, not necessarily pride, but a sense of, I have more control over things than I think I do. Because there's a lot of things that happen with footballers that they think that they have no idea what's going on, or they're being told by someone that they're going to do it for them, or they're going to do this for them.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, it's interesting to get a look into just not just what it's like to play for City, but the psyche behind it, the things you had to go through, and where you are now. And by God's grace, you will get back to where you want to be. But it's just been like a blessing speaking to you, Nats, and hopefully our viewers take a lot from this. And there's a lot of transferable stories people can relate to in their own lives outside football. Throughout this phase, we didn't even touch on the fact that you went to play abroad. Just quickly before we round up, how was it like in Sweden, and how long were you there for?
I was there for about 12 months, at least like a year. It was hard. The language barrier.
English is good there, right?
It is good there, but they don't have to speak it. They don't want to speak it. They don't want to speak it.
Yeah.
So you start to hear players speaking their language to kind of hide stuff, and you're just like, what the fuck is he saying? So it's like, but you can't really say nothing because you don't know what they're being said. Again, it was a different kind of experience in terms of, by different, I mean as in different style of football. It was a lot slower. The game was a lot slower out there in terms of, obviously, English football. Their game was a bit more defensive than other countries. So
I was gonna ask,
if I could relate it to any other country, I'd relate it to Italy in terms of slow tempo, teams are more defensive. They're more focused on not conceding than scoring.
Right.
That like they take pride in getting a clean sheet.
So if you've had a good, like you were the strikers of their team, as in as centre backs, you were the stars.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, racially, will you feel safe?
Yeah, they made me feel welcome. I didn't have no problems with them people. With anyone.
Okay. Well, should have touched into that a little bit more, but Nats will definitely get you into the studio when we're back in the studio. But it's been a blessing, and I'm blessed to have you on. Appreciate you coming on. I just quickly, is there anything you want to plug shamelessly?
Not.
Don't force it. If you don't have nothing, don't force it.
Dude. So my thing, what I've learned from the experience of this is that any sort of dream you have that you fall in love with, or you believe that this is what you were put on the planet to do. In terms of, I just feel like at any stage, whatever happens, that you should just never give up, because you never know what can happen within like the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Someone could, for example, in sports, someone could watch you play one game and then that could be it.
Yeah.
Like, you never know who's watching, so you just have to make sure you're on point.
Yeah.
And it's hard because you're, especially seeing your friends probably either overtake you or seeing your friends catch up to you, but before, like, they were nowhere near you.
Yeah. And
it's because, and then you feel like your dream is going down the drain. But it's not like you can do this. Like, it's actually possible to do whatever you wanted.
So your shout out today is just to let people know that they should keep chasing their dreams and do whatever they wanted, which I appreciate. Most people would have just said something like follow my channel, but thanks for that, Nats, and it's been a pleasure.
No problem.